You finally decided you want to start investing. Amazing. You open your laptop, you type in best brokerage for beginners, and within about 30 seconds, you are completely overwhelmed. Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab, Merrill, it's a lot. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this nagging fear. What if I pick the wrong one? What if I move my money into the wrong account and I end up losing out on thousands of dollars over time, just because I chose the wrong platform? That fear is real. And today, I want to settle this debate, at least between the two biggest names beginners keep asking about. Fidelity versus Vanguard. Which one is actually better for someone just starting out? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your situation, and more importantly, why the answer might surprise you. My name is Alex, and I spend a lot of time thinking about money, investing, and why most people accidentally sabotage their own financial future. Usually not because they make big, dramatic mistakes, but because of small, quiet decisions made early on, like choosing the wrong starting point. Now, before I go any further, full disclaimer. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is education, not advice. Do your own research and make decisions that fit your specific situation. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the real problem. Most people get it wrong when they ask Fidelity or Vanguard. They treat it like choosing between two completely different philosophies of investing, and it's not. Not really. It's more like asking, should I use a hammer or a mallet? They're both tools. They both get the nail in. The differences matter, but only once you understand what you're trying to build. The reason this debate gets so heated online is because both platforms are genuinely excellent. Both are among the most trusted names in the industry. Both offer zero-commission trades. Both let you invest in index funds with almost zero fees. So why does it feel so complicated? Because the difference between Fidelity and Vanguard isn't really about performance. It's about philosophy, ownership structure, and user experience. And for a beginner, those things actually matter a lot. Let me break this down properly. Understanding Vanguard. Let's start with Vanguard because its story is genuinely one of the most important stories in investing history. In 1975, a man named Jack Bogle, legend by the way, founded Vanguard with a radical idea. He believed that most investors were getting ripped off by high-fee, actively managed funds, and instead of fighting the system from the outside, he built a new one. Here's what makes Vanguard structurally different from almost every other financial company on the planet. Vanguard is owned by its funds, and those funds are owned by the investors inside them, which means you invest in a Vanguard fund, you technically own a piece of Vanguard itself. There are no external shareholders demanding profit. The company's entire incentive is to keep costs as low as possible for investors, and they have for decades. Vanguard practically invented the low-cost index fund. Their flagship fund, VTSAX, which tracks the entire U.S. market, has an expense ratio of just 0.04%. That means for every $10,000 you invest, you're paying $4 per year in fees. $4. Compare that to the average actively managed fund, which charges somewhere between 0.5 to 1%. That's $50 to $100 on that same $10,000, year after year. The difference over 30 years is staggering. So Vanguard's reputation is built on one thing, being the cheapest, most investor-friendly place to park your money long-term. But here's where we get into the nuance. Understanding Fidelity. Fidelity is a private company. It's been family-owned, the Johnson family, since it was founded in 1946. And because it doesn't have public shareholders either, it has unusual freedom to innovate and compete on price. In 2018, Fidelity made a move that genuinely shocked the industry. They launched 4 zero-expense ratio index funds, not 0.04, not 0.03, zero, free. FZROX, Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund, zero fees, completely free to hold. They also removed account minimums. Vanguard's Admiral shares, which unlock their lowest fees, used to require $3,000 to get in. Fidelity said, you need $0 to start. And on top of that, Fidelity invested heavily in their technology. Their app is clean, fast, and well-designed. Their website is intuitive, and their customer service has consistently ranked among the best in the industry. For a beginner who's just starting with a few $100s and wants a smooth, modern experience, Fidelity made themselves very, very appealing. So now we've got two excellent platforms, one built on a philosophical mission to keep costs low, the other built on innovation and accessibility. How do you actually choose? I want to give you a simple framework. 4 factors. Run through them and your answer becomes clear. Factor 1. Account minimums and starting capital. If you're starting with less than $3,000, Fidelity wins this round. Zero minimums, no barriers. You can open a Roth IRA with $50 and start immediately. Vanguard has largely eliminated minimums too, but Fidelity has made accessibility a core identity. It feels more welcoming for beginners. Factor 2. Fund fees. This is where it gets interesting. Fidelity's zero-fee funds sound unbeatable, and mathematically they are on paper. But there's a small catch. Those zero-fee funds are exclusive to Fidelity. You can't transfer them out if you ever switch brokerages. You'd have to sell them, which is a taxable event in a regular brokerage account. Vanguard's funds, on the other hand, are available almost everywhere. VTSAX, VTI, you can hold these funds at Fidelity, Schwab, or almost any other brokerage. They're portable. For most people inside a tax-advantaged account like a Roth IRA, this portability question doesn't matter much, but it's worth knowing. Factor 3. User experience. I'll be honest here, Vanguard's platform used to be, not great. Functional, but dated. They've improved, but Fidelity consistently edges them out on app design and ease of use for new investors. If you're someone who gets frustrated by clunky interfaces, Fidelity will feel more comfortable, especially early on. Factor 4. Investment philosophy and long-term alignment. This is the one most people ignore, and it might be the most important. Vanguard was built by an investor for investors. Their entire structure keeps them accountable to you, not to shareholders. There's something psychologically reassuring about that, especially when markets get ugly and you need to trust the institution holding your money. Fidelity is privately held, which gives similar independence, but they're also a business with competitive interests. That's not a bad thing, it's just different. The psychology. Here's something I want you to sit with for a second. The biggest wealth killer for beginners isn't picking the slightly wrong brokerage, it's analysis paralysis. It's spending 6 months comparing platforms instead of actually investing. I've seen people genuinely spend more energy on this decision than they've spent on their emergency fund, their budget, or understanding what an index fund is. The difference between Fidelity's zero-fee fund and Vanguard's 0.04% fund over 30 years on a $10,000 investment, we're talking about maybe $200 to $300 total. You know what costs more than that? Waiting 6 extra months to start investing because you couldn't decide. The most powerful force in investing is time, and every month you delay because of platform indecision is compound growth you're leaving on the table permanently. So here's my honest take. The verdict? If you're a brand new investor, just starting out, smaller account, want a smooth experience, open a Fidelity account today. Their zero-fee funds, zero minimums, and excellent interface remove almost every friction point for beginners. It's hard to argue against it. If you're someone who takes investing seriously as a long-term discipline, values institutional integrity deeply, and wants to build a portfolio using the most portable, widely respected index funds in the world, Vanguard is the gold standard for a reason. And honestly, you could open accounts at both. Many serious investors do. Fidelity for their active portfolio and day-to-day needs, Vanguard for their long-term retirement accounts. There's no rule that says you have to pick just one. But if you're forcing me to give you one answer for a complete beginner with under $10,000 to invest, Fidelity. Start there, build the habit, you can always move things later. At the end of the day, building wealth isn't about finding the perfect brokerage. It's about building the discipline to consistently put money to work in a low-cost, diversified way and letting time do the heavy lifting. Fidelity and Vanguard are both exceptional tools. The question was never really which one is better. The question is, which one gets you started? Because the people who quietly build real wealth aren't the ones who found the perfect platform. They're the ones who chose a good one, started early, and never stopped. That's it for today. If this video helped clarify things for you, drop a comment below. Let me know which platform you're going with and why. I read every one. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. Every week, I break down investing, personal finance, and wealth building in a way that actually makes sense. No jargon, no fluff. Investing. Simplified. I'll see you in the next one.